welcome back to the Holodeck. We are continuing the adventures of Andromeda, one of the classic Holodeck episodes series that we have featured so far, along with The Twilight Zone and more Andromeda. I had a fever dream and
not Batman.
Oh, and
no
Batman. I
Batman.
forgot. Do you know what? I forgot we did Batman. I actually did forget.
How
we did.
dare you? I feel offended.
Yes. Well, perfect time for some counterpoint to The Twilight Zone with some camp science fiction. So we're going to go on to Angel, Dark, Demon, Bright. And this is sort of following on. It's been a while since we watched these, so I don't know if you guys want a little refresher. If you remember, we had the So Young episode, which was awful.
I remember. I can't read.
Yeah, can't read. That was that one. Then we had the one afterwards, which we were vaguely favourable on, which I can't remember what happened.
There was one good episode
of the series being 6 out of 10.
Yes, yeah.
There was one good episode and three awful ones, and then one mediocre one.
Yeah, and then we got for that. So we're gonna watch in a minute Angel, Dark, Demon, Bright, and then we're gonna review it. But gentlemen, would you like to see a trailer for this episode first?
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm Magog.
The time of reckoning is now. I remember that guy from the other trailer.
Oh, you can't just drop that on me out of nowhere.
That was a good impression, wasn't it?
That was pretty good. If they ever do a recast of Andromeda, you're right there. Okay, let's watch this trailer. Let me just make sure.
Notice I didn't know you were capable of.
Right, okay, here we go.
Gene Roddenberry's.
We know how the next 300 years are going to turn out.
The Andromeda could change history. You've said you want to prevent war and chaos.
Those are decent effects.
But
Yeah.
should they?
Right.
Looks like Rez's been eating poontang.
Gene Roddenberry's
Andromeda.
All right, wait. So they in the first one they go forward in time,
They do,
right? Or they're
yes.
suspended in animation, and now they're going backward in time.
Correct.
Was it 300 years?
I think
the
it was
same way, both ways.
Without revealing that we've already recorded this section before, yes, I think they did. I thought it was like 900 years, and yeah, it's 300. Yeah, I think it's 300 years. So they kind of go back to when the Andromeda kind of left off.
It feels too early to do an episode like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that should be like a season 2 or 3 thing.
Well, I'm thinking of like Yesterday's Enterprise specifically, of like an example of where you do that, and it's just like you don't do it in like episode 5 or 6. It's a bit of an odd choice.
Can you imagine actually what would happen if the Enterprise D had gone the other way around? The Enterprise D had entered an anomaly and gone to Kittimer. It was Kittimer, wasn't it? Yeah, and been in the battle for the Enterprise C. It's kind of that kind of situation.
Well, no, because then they would outclass everyone around them. At least this way, they're going back to like the same time period they came from. So
Yeah, before the end of civilization, as it were. So
That's right.
that trailer does such a bad job of selling the show.
actually, I was going to say that's better than some of the other trailers. There's no terrible, goofy line deliveries. Some of the explosion effects looked okay, and I will spoil. I looked this up on IMDb because I forgot some of the actors' names, and it said top rated on there, which I think for IMDb means it's the top rated episode of the season. So
Okay.
I have reasonable hopes for this.
Maybe it's just the guy going, Gene Roddenberry. As if that's like a selling point, and I'm
Not
like,
quite a Star Trek.
I'll pre-rate a 6, which may as well be a fucking 10 for how bad this series has been so far. So I think 6 is pretty generous.
7 has been the high point, which was D-0, which the Schiller rating was dreaded bouncing ball attacks out of 10. Styles,
this is how much of this just drains out of my head. I don't remember any of that.
No, I've
God. Yeah, no, like the high point of this series does not inspire confidence. Like I'm thinking about how much I enjoyed like Terra Prime and Demons with you guys the other day, and it's like I think Andromeda wishes in vain that it could ever hit that high point.
Didn't we trash those episodes?
Not really. I think we came down on Demons like hard a little bit hard, but we said that Terra Prime had an amazing last 10 minminutes, and I very much doubt that this is going to have anything like that kind of emotional punch.
This might not have as good a 10 minutes over the entire run of the series as Terra Prime had at the end of.
If you stack all the good moments of Andromeda, you hit like one Enterprise decently good two-parter.
You hit a minute 37, yeah.
It just reminds me of a video, a meme I saw, which was Chief O'Brien times that he's happy, and then like the runtime was like 10 seconds.
Oh no.
I'm gonna. If you say it's the top rated 90, I'll go with an optimistic 5 out of 10, with the expectation it will go lower.
I'm going for a cautious 6. I'm intrigued. I think there are some good points. There are some good episodes out there, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. Let's go and watch this episode. We'll see you guys on the other side. I'm glad
I can't believe this shit.
We even restarted it too. We've watched 120% of this episode.
Oh my god.
So welcome everyone to the holodeck. We've just come and
The time to review this episode is now!
I sincerely hope you guys watch this episode and paused it at the right time, watch this with us, because that was certainly something. Okay, right. Let's break this down, because there's a lot in this episode, and I mean, it's not good, but there's a lot of it. They definitely put like about 16 ideas worth of temporal shenanigans in this episode. Is this yesterday's Andromeda? No, it certainly is not. So yes, our Andromeda attendant goes back in time and finds themselves at the battle of whatever, the Witchhead Nebula, and then they have to make the choice. Right, okay. The one remarkable thing we'll say about this is the first time because we don't do these ones on stream. This is the first time we've had to pause an episode twice to go, what the fuck is going on? Because they just threw information so fast at us.
The exposition is so heavy, it clogs the entire episode. And while we're trying to discuss, wait, what did they just say? What did that mean? They're already on to the next contrivance. Yeah. And then I've never had any episode. I've never had to pause any episode to try to work through what's going on in my mind. And I'm like, am I getting old? Is my mind failing me? Or is this just a terrible episode?
No, it's like the thing of like, I sometimes think that like New Trek, for example, can be a little bit too frantically paced and like too much thrown out at you. But like, I don't think, like you said, you've never had to pause.
Not even in the worst. Even Lower Decks, which is like 1,000 words a minute. I've never had to pause and collect myself before.
Yeah, whereas here it's like, let's just throw every like heavy quotation at you that we can. Let's throw out a billion technological buzzwords. Let's just like throw temporal mechanics and bullshit at you, and then just like internalize it and just like, no, guys, calm it the fuck down. It really, you know what it does? It makes me appreciate like just how well crafted yesterday's Enterprise actually is. Where it's like, they think about for a moment about the fact that how cleanly they show you exactly what's happened with just the transition from Picard on the normal Enterprise D bridge to the Battleship Enterprise bridge.
Yeah, you get the time
That's
straight
all you
away.
kind of need to do. And just like, and then Guinan comes and says, "This is not right," and like the sheer simplicity of that, anyone can understand that. But like this, oh my god, sorry, I didn't mean like.
No, yeah, yeah. So
also,
go on.
At the so they're throwing all this technobabble, time travel, all this stuff in, but at the same time they're trying to weigh the value of 100,000 lives. This is supposed to be some massive moral decision. Can we afford to do it? Can we not afford to do it? And while they're trying to get serious about that, Tyr even has a single tear at the end as they like mourn the dead. It's so at odds with the rest of the episode. You can't, as a viewer, you can't enjoy the weight of that ethical debate without being blasted in the face by the rest of the episode.
It's
like trying to play chess while someone has a fire hose turned in your face.
That's good. I like that. This is such a, like, Andromeda tries to go for and fails on so many levels at just trying to go like, we're very philosophical and we're the thinking person sci-fi. But they don't do it any kind of meaningful way. Well, no, the way they try and do it right, the Nietzscheans, obviously inspired by Nietzsche, you know, they're trying to be right. They're trying to philosophize that part of the human psyche, and also sort of have a sort of like a lot of these ship names that come from quotes. The Captain Teddy Roosevelt, the fucking fucking salient debate of politics or whatever the fuck that shit name was. Like they're trying to.
Continuation of politics. Wait, hold on a sec. Sorry, I got to cut in. Can we break down that scene? Was that Harper misremembering history? Was it him trying to be funny?
No, because I thought it was, because there's no way it would be that on the nose. But then, like, Dylan Hunt goes, "Well, I never met Teddy Roosevelt of the fucking Wakamaka
Which is
line,"
so weird.
and I'm just like,
because that confused me.
"What the
I
fuck
was
are you
just
saying
like,
to me?"
in my head, they traveled back in time, but not the whole way back to when Andromeda was missing. So a part of me was just like, maybe he's making a reference going, no, I never met Theodore Roosevelt, the American fucking president. And then, but yeah, it was just needless confusion. I think a lot of it was like that. And
Well, it's one of those things where it's like they make a plot point out of the fact that no one quite knows what happened during this battle, right? But like the instant you introduce that plot point and then you start throwing out ridiculous bullshit like the Ho Chi Minh or the fucking whatever, like you can't do the two, because I start assuming that we're in like a Omega Glory E Plebnista Pledge of Allegiance bullshit. Like that's what I was assuming was going on. But no, that was just what they were called. The captain was called Teddy Roosevelt for no fucking reason.
yeah, and it's a level of lore building that isn't earned or isn't needed.
No,
like,
no,
they throw
there's-
so
it's
many of
not.
these words out. They talk about the Witchhead Nebula. They talk about, I forget even what the name of the system was, which I had to look up, which was bullshit O Pluribus or whatever it was.
Okorichi.
O
I
Horichi or
wanted it
whatever.
to be bullshit O Pluribus. That's a way better name.
Exactly, yeah. And I was just like, but they do that so often. They go, oh yeah, this is world building. We'll throw out names. No, world building is actually giving some character to your people rather than just throwing out phrases. The one person on this episode that did a good job of doing that is fucking Keith Hamilton Cobber's Tyr. Anytime he was on screen, I'm like, right, there's going to be something salient happening because he's actually the decent person instead
You
of
mean
just everyone.
the salient debate?
Exactly.
Oh my
yes.
God.
Instead of
So,
everyone just looking
I
at Dylan Hunt going like, isn't he cool?
I had to
never
point out,
met an
you
angel.
said, oh fuck off. I'd like to point out, you said that the world building is unearned. It's like, no, it's just bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's
There's
one
no
of those-
level of earning. Can you imagine if Picard was talking to Geordi about Captain George W. Bush at the Battle of whatever, and Emperor Tony Blair? Like, no, that doesn't.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just pulling real life shit for no reason.
Yeah, the problem is, like, you know what it is? If cat people existed in Andromeda's universe, like, you know how, like, in Elder Scrolls they're called Khajiit, or in D&D they're called Tabaxi. You know what they would be called in Andromeda? They would just be called fucking cat people, because
Catsies.
subtext is for cowards, to
Well-
the point where we have an entire race called the Nietzscheans. Like,
Yeah.
they don't
maybe-
understand how to, like, indicate anything to
I
the
feel like-
viewer
right,
without
okay.
just blankly stating it in the stupidest way
Here's-
possible.
That's
Here's what
maybe
I
not
feel.
the best criticism, because Star Trek calls them Caitians, which is like one letter away from the cat people. So
I feel like we're unloading a lot of the fact that we haven't watched Andromeda for a while, and this is us remembering how
No.
bullshit it is.
no, it hasn't been this bad. I mean, it's been bad in different ways.
Yeah. This is something. I mean, this was rated fairly high. I mean, they tried to have a good hack at a time travel debate within. Right, I'm gonna try and spin this as a positive, and I'm gonna sort of put it up there as like a kind of this is what.
Why?
No, just as a sort of a discussion point, because Robert Hewlett Wolf wrote this, so he decided, right, okay, let's have a bit of lore building, let's have a bit of world building, and have the Andromeda Ascendant travel back to when the universe went to shit, and try and be offered an ethical dilemma of how to deal with it. The problem with it is they took over half the episode to get to that dilemma, didn't explain it properly by explaining things too much, and in the end it didn't really matter anyway, and then Dylan Hunt just goes, I am death, destroyer of worlds, like,
He literally said that.
literally says
We're
literally
not,
says
we're not
it.
joking.
Well, because that's actually one of the things I want to touch on, right?
Fucking
it's the fact
Oppenheimer.
that, like, so the ethical debate, right, is, like, given so little actual development here. It basically just boils down to that conversation between Rev and Dylan about divine will,
But even
about
that's not-
fate. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, no, because that's one way of looking at it, right? Because, like, you can't quote Oppenheimer without then looking at Oppenheimer and why he did the things he did. Like, the actual reason, like, of the dropping of the atomic bomb on Japan, like, regardless of your feelings on the emotional thing, like, there were arguments for and against placed by the politicians, by the actual scientists, in terms of, like, is it ethical to do this? Is it more ethical to not do this? Like, what's the cost benefit analysis of letting this happen versus not? And, like, they don't ever go into, okay, so what does the world look like if we don't do anything? What does a Nietzschean version of this look like? And they say, well, the Nietzscheans had, like, slavery and genocide. It's like, okay, but, like...
Which humans would never have, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, by the way. Humans are so much better nowadays. And, like, they don't ever really... Like, they just... It's all tell, don't show. And it's like, there's absolutely no commitment to actually, like, building out the world and making you understand. Like, it makes the future seem even less developed than the past somehow, because, like, I just
It's
my
a
God, my
lot.
brain.
And that's the thing. There's too much. They try and do too much because you have this whole side plot with, we're talking about the sort of, like, determining the ethics of the future. Unfortunately, they discuss it through fucking Harper, who ends up sort of going like, am I going to be broke? Am I going to be rich? And then he tries to sabotage the ship. And that is a lot of that actual debate. It should be a fucking 10-minute dialogue between Dylan Hunt and Tyr about actually breaking it down and sitting talking about these different debates while everyone else is just fixing the ship. That, and they briefly touch on it, but it's mostly just Tyr doing the good work and Dylan Hunt going, no, look at me, camera shot on me. I don't want anyone else in the frame. I need to talk to my hot nipple-headed woman on the other ship.
Which, we joke, but she was actually doing some of the best acting in the episode.
Oh, yeah,
she was fine.
Yeah. I felt a little bit bad when she died, but,
It's predetermined
I
fate,
felt
mate.
nothing this entire episode, I'll be honest with you.
No, that's a lie. You felt confusion and disgust.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about power scaling. So they said in the story they had 15,000 Nietzschean ships versus, 100 Commonwealth ships. They defeated them, and then when the Magog invaded, the Nietzscheans slowed them down enough that the Magog didn't destroy Earth. Okay, so the Nietzscheans are pretty powerful.
Earth was destroyed or was taken over.
Well,
Anyway,
anyway,
it was taken over, not
they
completely
combated the
ruined,
Magog, and they stopped the total invasion, is what they said. So the Andromeda is a ship from that time. It's from this 300 years in the past. So they show up with some jury-rigged computers and just destroy 1,000 ships by themselves?
Yeah,
because of the plasma catalyst with the nebula. Yeah,
I think the general idea is that
bullshit.
The Andromeda is the ship. Well, no, I think the idea is, and again, I might be misremembering because it's been a while since I watched the episode, but the Andromeda is the ship. That is the biggest, the baddest, the one that if they lost it during the fight, that's the reason shit went down bad. So the fact that I
don't think that's the case actually at all.
I might be misremembering.
I think the Andromeda. No, like the Andromeda is the galaxy class of this. I think. And guess what? It's powerful in its own way.
1,000 ships. You're telling me they took out 1,000?
Yes, because of an unconventional method, which like Harper had to set up and bullshit. Yes.
You're defending this?
No, I'm saying that's what the
you're right.
I
logic is such. Yeah.
I understand why they explained it, but it's a bullshit explanation. You don't just jury rig something to kill 1,000 ships.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I think of like the amount of times that like a character. Guess what? We're going to compare it to Star Trek a lot, but that's because Star Trek does this kind of thing so much better. Like I think of the beginning of Redemption Part 2. I was thinking of where Kern does the whole thing with like the sun and blowing up the corona so it kills all. It's like, and it's an unconventional method. It's extremely dangerous. They nearly die. Wolf calls them out on it. And it's only like one ship versus like 3 or 4 or something like that. That's an example of how to do this kind of power scaling correctly. But because Andromeda is incapable as a series of like putting any kind of like reasonable scale or making things seem graspable or tangible, it has to be big numbers like 500, 1,500, 100,000. It has to be like the most big numbers that you'll be like, oh, this is big sci-fi soap opera. It's like, buddy, you're just making it so that it's more ridiculous. I have no investment in this.
If they took out 15 ships, let's say, which is still 1 to 15 is massive.
Yeah.
That would like fit into the scale of the universe. You could say, hey, this was a really pivotal battle, and because we helped them win it, then that's why everything kind of domino affected. That's another thing yesterday's Enterprise did well. When they sent them back, when they sent the B back, that wasn't to kill 1,000 ships. It wasn't even to win the battle. It was a small butterfly effect that changed the course of history. And that's even what they talk about at the beginning. They said, okay, Rami thought of two outcomes. Either everything's predetermined or, timelines will split, which... Even that, they didn't really follow through on.
No,
but
they
it's
kind
like,
of just stopped there, and I was just like, "Hang on, no."
it's
there is
like what a
lot more
teenager would write as sci-fi. What sounds cool? Oh, they blew up 1,000 ships. Yeah, let's do that.
options. Yeah, it is. Again, like I said, there was just so much going on, and it's hard to sort of equate it into a single moment, really. But like in the same way, a lot happens. But nothing really
I can
happens.
equate it to a single moment. I can equate it to the single moment where you guys both had to pause the episode and we had to try and work out the mechanics of the time travel going on because it's so poorly explained and just like so badly exposited. And it's like so it goes down with Andromeda's first theory, which is that this was predetermined. The Andromeda was always going to come back. It was always going to set off the plasma catalyst. It was always going to destroy those 1,000 ships. And that the better outcome in the future, where the fucking Magog didn't completely take over, is because of this one thing, and it was always that way. And it's like that's a fairly That's fairly straightforward when I put it down like that. Like, I assume that's how something like Yesterday's Enterprise works. And if you think of, like, the existence of Sailor, like, if I ask you right now, did Seela, or Sela, I forget how they pronounce it.
Seela. I was going to say, is it like Symmetry?
Yeah, oh god. Does she exist in the TNG universe before Yesterday's Enterprise? And the answer is yes and no. Because, yes, she had to have been born before TNG starts, but from our perspective, she only exists after Yesterday's Enterprise because of the loop. That's what it's meant to be doing. But again, Star Trek knows how to fucking do this properly so that you understand it immediately. Whereas Andromeda just like manages to trip over its own dick trying to explain these things. It can't do it properly.
Listen, how many scenes were basically the start of a porno in this? I mean, you had,
Like
Dylan
3.
Hunt and Tyr at the end. You had Tyr and what's the purple girl's name again? Trance in there with a whole dialogue. Which I was just...
This is your show, right? That you're making us watch.
Yeah, too right.
This is his choice. Like, Otto wants to watch Twilight Zone. I want to watch 60s Batman, and you want to watch Andromeda. What the fuck, Idol?
All right.
Okay.
I will for the second time in 6 episodes. I'm going to compare this script to Deep Space Nine. There's a little speech from Quark. Let me tell you something about humans, nephew. They're a wonderful, friendly people as long as their bellies are full and their holosuites are working. But take away their creature comforts, deprive them of food, sleep, put their lives in jeopardy over an extended period of time, and those same friendly, intelligent, wonderful people will become as nasty and as violent as the most bloodthirsty Klingon. Seamus Harper says, and nobody beats us humans for downright nastiness. Let me lay a few ancient Earth human words on you. Crucifixion, the electric chair, the guillotine. Feel free to look them up. There's no nuance in this script.
None.
Who's he talking to? Like, which
forget
broadcast
the
is he
pace and
sending this to?
Trance, wasn't he?
The
Wasn't he
purple
Trance?
girl. The purple
Right,
girl idol. That's
purple
what he's
girl,
talking.
okay.
Forget the pacing issues. There's just no nuance. I am become death, destroyer of worlds. Like it's
Yeah. It's
Poignant
even
to
when they
someone
reach
that
for the
hasn't-
classics. Even when they reach for the classics, they delivered in such like a boring, generic way.
Listen, we will force that square peg into that round hole no matter how many times we have to hammer it in there.
To someone that has never read any of the classics, doesn't know history, and only watches really shit sci-fi on obscure sort of like freeview channels.
Oh, we can tell.
This not me, son of a bitch. Wow.
Got
him. Oh, that is the most severe burn you've ever This must, yeah, I was gonna say this must seem like high art, but yeah, it is not. Son of a bitch.
That was my revenge.
Yeah,
for us
no,
watching
that's
this
fair.
fucking
That's fair.
episode.
I will absolutely take that. That's absolutely fair. Okay, fine. I'd like to just stress that I am forcing this upon you because it is a Gene Roddenberry production and it is Trek aligned, and that's the reason. Some point we'll look at Earth Final
Why couldn't we
Conflict.
watch The Lieutenant? You know, that 50s show
that's
we
a
did.
good
Why
idea.
can't we watch that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do it right now.
No. We'll have you will have your Andromeda and you'll eat it. Okay, how about we do some.
Bread.
Gentlemen, there's quite a loaf to eat here. Which slice would you like to carve out? Stars, go on.
This bread is moldy. Can I have something else? Can I have a breadstick instead?
Sorry, the restaurant's closed.
I yearn for the simplicity of an Enterprise Season 1 episode right now, which I think says everything you need to know about my current mental state. Oh my god. Fuck, what's my bread? You know what? It's gonna be just... Oh my god. You know what my actual bread is? My bread is Tyr walking off the bridge and taking off his belt like he's about to start stripping. Because it has no... I don't understand what the point of it was. What is it like? It's not as if like Worf was taking off his baldric or anything like that, or like I just don't get.
He hasn't
what that
earned
was
the
meant
right
to
for
be.
that yet. If in season 6 Worf had some Klingon debate and he lost it and he had to just throw his baldric on the floor, then they'll be like, oh shit, what's happened? But yeah, this isn't.
It's like, is there some kind of significance to Anichian's belt that I should understand? Is that like, given all the porno vibes in here, that's gonna just stick into my mind of like, okay, well, clearly he went off to do something. We have to work out some tension there. Oh, that's my bread. Oh my god.
I thought you were going to take mine because it's also a tier 1.
God.
What, is it a tier 1 moment?
It's when he's talking to the purple girl. And she walks in on his plan.
The people girl.
And he's like leaning forward onto the bulkhead, and the light shines underneath his chainmail. You can see Keith Hellman Cobb's abs. You can see the definition, and I'm straight, but
you understand.
But this is pretty good, and that's probably what's going to stick in my head. I also just like anytime he makes Kevin Sorbo look like a chump physically. So
it's not hard.
Yeah,
So,
I reckon
good for
he was like, why was I not consulted on the casting? He is far too more impressive than me. He can't be. Oh, okay, fine, I'll work with it.
The direction was pretty ass, but the lighting was at least interesting. You had that shot, and then you had every time Seamus Harper was on screen, they had a giant fan backlit, and it was just spinning sheaths of light around him.
It represents the inner workings of his mind, man.
there you go.
The cogs are turning.
What's your bread?
My bread is definitely going to be the 2 times we paused this episode to work out what the fuck was going on. It's the only time we've ever had to stop one of these just to go like, what the fuck? Like, can someone just break this down because you've just talked at me for like 5 minutes and I'm just overloaded with techno bullshit. Like, come on. So yeah, that's definitely going to be my bread for the episode. Okay, how about we do... No, I was going to do last 5 minutes, but I don't...
No, I can't fix this.
I don't need to
Not in 5
remember what
minutes.
happened in the last 5 minutes.
No. Okay.
Tyr cried, and then the purple girl cut a tree in half and said, "That's better."
Yeah. Yeah. How
I
about
think I can last half an hour. That's what I'd need.
how about this one?
Damn. Who could have pulled this off?
You idiots! These are not them. You've captured their stunt doubles.
Okay. If this episode had been an iteration of Star Trek at some point, which crew could have handled this exact same situation? I'm not talking about just saying TNG yesterday's Enterprise. Let's do that. Let's say what crew would have tackled this exact same episode?
DS9 and Cisco wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Like, right.
Only 100,000. That's all we get to kill.
It's a bargain.
He'd have been counting on his fingers. Dax. How many do I need to kill? And she's like, Benjamin, we should weigh up the ethical considerations. Like 10,000. 10,000 will do. Just launch the nukes. That's fine. Let's go.
You know what I was actually thinking of, like, during this? I was actually also thinking of Children of Time.
Okay.
And like that's a way better way to like get at what this episode was trying to do in terms of like the scale of death and like epitomizing what's lost here. Like because never forget, by the way, 100,001 people die in this episode, right?
Yeah.
You have all the Nietzscheans and the what was her name, Gar from the other Commonwealth ship. Guess who gets a face? And it's not the Nietzscheans. We're meant to feel bad for the Nietzscheans, but like they are never given a face. They're never given any names. There's nothing for them. Whereas like Children of Time, like it spends so much time developing the community. You feel like you've been absolutely stabbed in the heart when they're gone. And it's like it's just so wild to me that DS9 so consistently managed to like juggle higher concept sci-fi and the scale of moral like quandary and death and destruction, and this just so epically fails at it.
That is, I mean, that also has time travel. That has almost the exact same plot, wiping out a bunch of people to save our timeline, and they even managed to work in like a reasonable romance plot into that without it feeling overstuffed. So
yeah.
Go on.
Idle, what about you?
I will go for the TOS crew. I feel like if it's going to be cammy, if it's going to be campy, if it's going to have some sort of like some bullshit sci-fi wave away plot, then let's go with Kirk, Spock, and McCoy and all the crew there. Let's have them go back in there and actually have a proper... We're going to sit in the briefing room and Spock is going to give us a good debate about the changes in history. And, you know, we have seen this in TOS before, in the multiple time travel episodes where they've actually spent some good time debating...
Oh, City on the Edge of Forever.
Exactly, or with the Gary 7... No, not the Gary 7. Yeah, the Gary 7 episode and things like that. And, you know, just sort of debating the ethics of how can we change time, and they spend some good time and some good meaty Star Trek-esque sci-fi talks about it, rather than just sort of hand-waving going, we need to kill some people. How many people? 15,000 people. Why? Because of this story he told, but my story is different. By the way, look at my abs.
So, okay. Am I controversial in thinking this? That if TOS crew did do this, Kirk and McCoy would talk themselves into not doing it, and then Spock would like nerve pinch them both and then do it?
Could be. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what he would do. It would be the
Imagine
logical thing
Strange New Worlds, actually, Spock would do that. I'm not sure about TOS.
I think
Spock.
TOS Spock might.
Maybe.
He might.
I don't know if he wouldn't necessarily... He's never really disobeyed Kirk's orders. He's often been able to talk him around because he knows him so well, but...
I mean, another thing that Children of Time fucking nailed is the little twist at the end. Like, they didn't want to break their own conscience. They had to do it the best thing in their heart. So they decide to sacrifice themselves. But then future Odo steps in and does it for them. And all of a sudden that colors Odo for the rest of the series. You look at him different. Like, is he really capable of doing this? And so, yeah, I like. Well, Spock does it at the end of Mirror Mirror, basically, where he holds the transporter until he can get Bones there, and he's like, "I'll do it for you." So.
Yeah, I think Spock would do it personally. I think he would.
The only person,
the scale was such.
The only people getting Bones there in this episode was Tyr and Dylan Hunt. Anyway, Auto.
I'm going TNG. At the end of this episode, Hunt says, maybe on some level you knew that what we did was somehow necessary and right. And he goes, Dylan, do you believe that? I have to. That made me think of TNG episode The Battle, where he says, Picard says, the fight at Maxia, I destroyed an entire vessel, an entire crew. And Crusher asks him, did you have a choice? I don't know anymore. I just don't know. Picard has already done this. I can see him delivering that speech. Did you do what was right? I don't know. I just don't know. And I can see that sitting uneasily with him. I don't know if he would have made the choice in the first place.
To a conscious level. Yeah, there would be definitely some sort of ambiguous speech from him, for sure.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Go watch Star Trek, guys. Don't watch this.
We need to have this little palate cleanse, and especially if we're going to go on to a bad episode.
It does make you appreciate whatever Star Trek we're watching so much more.
It really does. All right, how about let's cut to the chaff and do.
I can show you my rating code.
Schiller rating 3-5.
Associational
Best
rating
worst,
normal
-3. That's much too
Oh, you
low
want to do best worst?
Not accustomed to seeing an unsatisfactory rating on a member of my crew.
In my head, I'm like, let's do 3 sections. I don't think.
You mean let's cut through the chop?
Chop through the chop. I was thinking, is there really? Do we need to do best worst for this one? Are we?
There's not a lot.
I was gonna say there's not a lot. We could do worst.
Come on.
think we've
It's a
covered that
staple. It's
extensively.
like bread and
fine,
milk. You've
fine.
gotta do
The best
worst.
advice I can give you is to just be yourself.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to Zach. You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
So
Actually,
young.
that's the second best piece of advice.
In fact, you're the worst thing that ever happened to the entire Ferengi Alliance.
No.
Just stop saying that.
So young.
Best and
You just
worst.
love hitting your triggers.
Ah, so good. It feels so good. Best and worst, gentlemen. Let's start with you, Otto.
Since
do you
I
have-
dragged us into this.
Yes.
Yeah, the best was actually when Tyr's trying to sabotage the ship. First he punches the computer and it
God, I
sparks.
forgot
He's like,
about
that's not good enough.
Yes.
So he grabs the ladder and he drop kicks the computer.
It's very good.
You need to get like that video clip because I want it, even if you don't use it for the show. I want that clip for a GIF. It's amazing.
I think it's actually unintentional comic genius because it kind of subverts your expectations. Like everyone assumes that he's going to hit the console and it comes back to life, but he hits it, it doesn't work. He punches it again, it doesn't work. He fucking drop kicks it and he breaks it more. I think that's fucking brilliant. Like that was so good.
I was trying to think, is there anything this episode does better than Star Trek would do? And I think that might be it. Because Worf would smack it, but he wouldn't fucking drop kick the computer. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
the closest you get with Warp is like like he asks a question and it says like it gives someone else says, "I wasn't asking you."
Yeah.
That's the closest
Yeah.
you get.
My worst.
Go on.
Yes, please.
Oh no, I just like to let you know that Keith Hamilton Cobb is only in the first 4 series of Star Trek Andromeda, and he is in precisely 69 episodes.
Nice.
We ain't getting that
Star
far,
Trek
so we'll
Andromeda.
stop after one.
Star
but-
Trek Andromeda.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm running on fumes here.
Keith Hamilton Cobb's Andromeda. My
It's good
worst,
show.
besides the pacing, which was just that first like 20 minutes, was like, shut the fuck up. I can't. The other worst, sorry, who did you say directed this?
This was directed by Alan Eastman, who did 2 episodes of Star Trek. He did Prey
Which
and Relativity.
Prey.
He's also directed
He's
episodes.
great.
I know episodes of Tech War, Sliders, Earth Final Conflict, and Stargate SG-1.
The things that stood out to me is when they have a static shot in the Jeffries tube, he was rotating the camera like they were at sea. But then when they go through the slipstream and the whole ship is supposed to be shaking, completely static shot,
Rock
and only
solid, yeah.
only the person is moving around, and it makes it look so goofy. So I think he
Only
flipped
one thing
what
can be
he needed
swaying
to
on
be
screen.
doing.
It's either the camera or the people at all times.
That
If I was to
really-
make
that took
like,
me out
if
of
I was
it.
ever to do a, what was it when they had in Be Kind Rewind? What was it called? Sweding. If I was ever to do a Swede of like any kind of Andromeda, I would definitely just like do it seriously, but just be doing this the entire time, just be swaying.
Well, it's also especially wild because like they do the time travel effect earlier in the episode, and like they have the camera spin around 3 times. Why I'm not asking for a motion picture time to impact 20 seconds moment,
Torpedo.
but I'm asking for something. A concession to the idea that you're time traveling.
You guys just don't appreciate good quality cinema. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna go next. Best moment for me is just gonna be Tyr in general holding up the entire episode, because whenever he's on screen, I'm just like, right, I'm actually going to pay attention, because he's not going to be flooding everything with bullshit. He's actually going to be speaking very eloquently, which is something I really appreciate about Tyr. He actually does portray almost that kind of intelligent Nietzschean Worf, like kind of, I'm a philosophical Worf, but I'm also a little bit angry. He actually does, he has the right casting for that character. So yeah, kudos to Tyr for that. My worst moment is just going to be the early onslaught of not even just technobabble, just words flying at me, references that I don't understand. I think they said a molecular cloud at one point. I'm like, yes, all fucking clouds are molecular. You just went through the dictionary and went, that sounds sciencey enough, put that in. Like fucking Matt Berry's character from the IT Crowd fucking writing this. So yeah, those are my best and worst ghost stars.
You've kind of like plumbed all the good out of this. Fuck me.
You can copy if you wish.
By the way, I do have to point out, by the way, Becca Valentine might as well have not been this fucking
Yeah, she was
episode.
nowhere.
She did
Yeah.
nothing.
This was
She
her
did
off day.
nothing.
She hasn't got much to do at all through
Yeah.
6 episodes.
Yeah. Normally I would have I stumped for the Rev Ben, but even that scene is bad in this episode because it's just so like heavy-handed, and there's only 2 of them, and one of them is like heavy-handed thing about fate which doesn't like fucking track to anyone.
Which literally, Rev Bem is heavy-handed with the size of his fucking nails.
Listen, best back scratches though.
Back scratcher.
I think
Back scratcher?
Oh my God. Back scratcher. Back scratcher. I will give I will give props to the conversation between Trance and Tia. It was kind of shot and acted a little bit like a low-grade porno, but to be fair, most of the episode was. But I do always appreciate a dialogue exchange that's like, well, hypothetically speaking, what would this hypothetical look like? Like, I always appreciate the narrative conceit of, like, walking through a thought exercise and pointing out, if you do this, it leads to that, and that the logic. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that. This wasn't hardly the best version of it, but it makes Trance seem at least like she has a brain in her skull and not like she's just a complete klutz, which I appreciate. Like, it worked a bit better for me than everything else, and obviously Keith Hamilton Cobb, even though he's being shot like he's in the porno, is still acting it well. My worst moment, I'm shocked neither of you went for this, Harper in general. Harper is like the most heinous, most venal, most greedy, selfish, misanthropic, murderous little cunt I've ever seen. He makes Quark look like Picard. Like, Quark would look at this guy and go, like,
not doing business
he just casually is like rigging up a device to kill up like 150,000 people because he was going to plan to wipe out the entire fleet. Don't forget.
But he was very sad at the end.
Yeah, which made no sense.
Completely unearned.
He was agog. He was Magog for killing these people. This entire episode, he was like purely like, yeah, we're gonna kill a load of people. I'm gonna make a load of money. It's gonna make sense. Yeah, it'll be great. And then at the end, it's like, oh, I'm a bit sad. Now I actually think about it.
He is like the worst character on the show by a country mile, and I say that about a cast that includes Kevin Sorbo. Like, it's wild to me.
Kevin Sorbo just doesn't.
I think
do
the reason.
Yeah.
I think the reason he didn't bother me so much is we've already seen him do such nasty, skeevy things with women.
Yeah.
That it's like, this is just throw it on the pile. He's already way down there. So.
I just want him to get reduced to like atomic dust. I just want him to be removed from existence.
You mean a molecular cloud?
Yes, I want him to be reduced to a molecular
I want to see an
cloud.
unmolecular cloud. What does that look like? All right. Okay.
Unmolecular.
Unmolecular. Okay, let's do.
No, we've already hit the
We have
trigger.
played it. We don't need to do it. Let's go on to our rated codes, gentlemen.
I've got one.
Like Rev Bem, I'm
Yes.
all ears. Let's go.
Gentlemen, how many fearful symmetries and continuations of politics out of 10 would you like to give this episode?
I thought you were going for Barici or whatever the fuck the name is.
What was it?
Barici 36 or whatever the fuck it
Fearful
was.
symmetries. And what was the other one? Discussions of what? Sorry.
Fearful symmetries and continuations of politics out of 10.
That was such a weird line of because you're just like, that's a ship name, or are you just trying to randomly insert like
the salient debate.
Salient debate. It's like
fuck off.
Fuck off. If you didn't know the time, you'd be like, this was written by AI. Like, honestly, like, you would honestly think, like, shit, this is some chat GPT garbage.
AI could never create something this bad.
Yeah,
I think someone's just a Halo fan and named
2001.
Named
Yeah,
things after those
yeah,
kind
you
of
could be
ships.
right. Yeah.
Hillary Bolton is such a good name. Such a cool name.
I'm gonna set the bar, and I'm gonna say a lot of this rating is gonna be due to Tier.
Yes.
And I'm looking at previous ratings as well, just to kind of get things in balance here of where I've rated things. I'm gonna give this a 1. Fearful symmetries and continuation of politics, because it was so much. Right, if I have to stop an episode just to talk to 2 other people about what's going on, and bear in mind, I could have been watching this on my own, and I'd just been like, I'm now just going to go into a stupor. Like, my brain has melted. Like, if there's any point that any episode makes me do that, it's failed. Tyr is the one point in this because he is entertaining, he is eloquent, and he is generally the slowest part of the plot, which is great. So yeah, one, fearful symmetries and continuation of salient politics or whatever it was. Stars, go on. Oh, go on.
I want to ask you guys. Sorry, before we continue.
No, go for it.
What's the deal with Trance? They're playing her like a childlike character. Is she?
I guess so. Yeah,
I know the answer to this because unfortunately I watched the series.
But also at the same time, there's these weird pseudo-sexual moments with her and Tyr, with her and Hunt, where they're either touching her or they're like, the implication like leaning toward her and intimidating her, and it's just, it all feels really unsettling when she interacts with most of the other male
I can tell you
crew.
what Trance is, because you're not going to watch up to. I think she gets revealed in like season 2 or 3. I might just leave it there.
Okay. But anyway, am I the only one that's made uncomfortable every time she interacts with a male?
No,
crew?
yeah,
you're right.
The childlike vibe makes it really uncomfortable when Lars men are leaning over her and being a bit too friendly.
So when Hunt was like holding, when they were talking about her flying in the Eureka Maroon, he sort of like holds her close. I just imagine that scene from Airplane. It's like, so Timmy, you like gladiator movies? I was like,
You ever been to a Turkish prison?
Yeah. Yes, once.
I think that Dylan. Oh my god. Yeah. Like Dylan Hunt in this is like the perfect epitomization of like you get Roll Riker and it's that meme of like, oh, you're sweet. And then like you get like Dylan Hunt, it's like, hello, human resources. Like
100%. That's very good. Go on, Auto.
Stars.
Oh, Stars. Go Stars.
Ooh. Yeah, like Tyr is literally the only part of this that's like got any redeeming value at all. Like, it's insane to me just how incoherent, how morally misanthropic, how unfocused, how downright incompetent this episode was on almost every level. Not even getting to stuff like the weird musical cues or like
swaying camera.
There were the red herrings of like, like Tyr saying, "Oh, I could have like sabotaged Andromeda, but I didn't." It's like, okay, cool, thanks.
Or even Romy zapping Harper in the middle of the corridor.
With bad English, by the way, of bad use of tenses as well. Like you don't give the script a second run over or anything. This is like a 2 fearful symmetries and continuations of politics out of 10. It would be ranked 1 point lower if I had not had some of the biggest laughs of my life sitting here talking with you guys, breaking it down. This has been an experience. Like, oh my god. Oh, yeah, so 2 for me. 2 fearful symmetries and continuations of politics.
Auto, how many decimal points are you going here?
I'm going to be the highest rating here.
Wow.
2.1. So there's some things I appreciate here. All right, Seamus is a disgusting creep, but there's the story point. There's only 6 people on this ship. You can't afford to cut someone loose every time they slip up, and granted, he slips and slips and slips. You can see coming they're going to have to redeem him in some way. They're going to have to put him to use on the ship. There's only 6. He's got to fulfill some kind of use, so that's whatever. Also, it gives us a lot to talk about. Yeah, they shoved too much in, but okay, we're getting some stuff on the Commonwealth, the Nietzscheans, where Hunt and Andromeda came from, why things happened the way they were. And it gives us a lot to talk about, a lot to break down, and maybe they should have stretched it out over episodes. But I'd rather have an episode where I can think and cogitate and enjoy like the world building versus an episode where nothing happens. And a lot did happen in this one. They also go for like a classic sci-fi / Star Trek conceit of what is the value of a life, taking these lives, how can you live with it? And maybe they won't follow up on it. They probably won't, but it's nice that they at least bring it up. Also, I like Keith Hamilton Cobb's abs. That was a great shot with the lighting under the chainmail. That was just, wow. So I'm going to give this 3 fearful symmetries and continuation of politics.
1, 2, 3. Wow.
There's stuff to talk about. There's stuff to unpack. And I don't know. There is still that skeevy film of issues that you don't really want to talk about the sexism and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I've seen some bad Andromeda. I don't think this is as bad as like Toulouse the Fateful Lightning or the one where he sleeps. They try to make him the bull of the Nietzschean race and sleep with all the women. So I think this is better than those two at least. So I'm going to go with 3. Yeah.
Fantastic. We actually did give 1, 2, 3 to another episode. We gave 1. Otto, you gave 1. I gave 2, and Stars, you gave 3 to An Affirming Flame, which we gave the rating of 2.0 hilarious ADR lines out of 10. But this is sitting at 2 as well, so it draws with the second episode, which is combined for the second lowest that we've watched so far.
You know how they say it can only go up from here? That's not true. It can go sideways as well.
And this was IMDb's top rated? One of the top rated?
It was one of the top. It was 7.7 on
Interesting.
IMDb.
Well, the next episode is... if I can actually convince you guys to watch this, which I don't think I can, but the next episode is called The Ties That Bind, which could be more philosophical.
It's going to be a BDSM episode.
Chance finds herself in a
I don't know
awkward
if I
situation.
want to see this. I don't know if I want to see this show's idea of what that looks like.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching our review of this episode. We'll be back with some more Andromeda, some more Twilight Zone, some more other stuff, lots more Star Trek. Please pay attention to that. We do watch good stuff occasionally. And we'll see you all later. And stay manipulating the fabric of reality.
Stay continuing politics.
Yay.